Good morning, everybody. Wednesday morning, 7:30 on the West Coast. Volatile few hours in the trading session to end the day yesterday and to start the day today. At the end of the trading session yesterday, the president came out and ended all the stimulus talks. That sent the market lower, sent the QQQ from 281 to 275. We opened today around 280. We've climbed a little bit, and we're kind of still right around that point. This action is not the best. And we have to zoom out pretty far before we get to something that looks like it's investable. I mean, we're still flat back on the 50. So what I want to do, got whacked a little bit yesterday, came back. The stocks that I'm holding that are directly affected by a lack of stimulus are Square and Domino's, and I hold those primarily with that as the catalyst. So we're up 19% in Square, we're down a little bit in Domino's. We're going to close Domino's and we're going to trim Square down, and then we're going to raise some cash, and then we're going to reevaluate the landscape into things that, one of my assumptions was that we were going to get a stimulus that was broad-based, and I think that was an incorrect assumption, and now I'm going to redeploy my portfolio with an assumption that it's just totally uncertain. And if we get a stimulus package in we have 4 weeks to the election, plus a week to sort the election out, plus either 8 weeks of lame duck, or depending on contested outcome or the result of the Senate and the House races, and then POTUS on top of that. There's a good chance if we don't get stimulus before this election, we don't get it for 2 more months, 3 more months before the end of this year. I don't know if this country can take that. I think there's a good chance we're going to get some money injected into the airlines. I don't know. There's a lot of hoping and wishing in politics and stuff that I wish we didn't have to deal with. But that's the reality of things now. Just continuing to stay the course on where we might go. I mean, look at DraftKings. DraftKings, it's literally a Corona stock. With Corona going through the White House, I mean, the gambling stocks come off. Peloton still cruising. Old Pal and Face cruising. So let's hop into our sectors really quick. Bonds and gold selling off, and some energy. I mean, this is a growth move. I mean, this is just kind of a stock pickers move, I think. I think people are just trying to pick winners and losers here. We have one of the winners in Square, but we were up about 20% yesterday, and I was going to trim some, and I didn't. And then we got the news yesterday from the president. I don't really want to play that game for the next 2-3 months. I want things that are going to... Square is going to continue to do well, but Square needs two things. It either needs stimulus money to distribute, or it needs restaurants to open back up so people can use the Square terminal again in restaurants. My assumption was that it was going to get stimulus money, and they're extremely effective, the most effective at getting that money to the food carts of the world, the small mom and pop businesses. When you look at their last quarter, they did the most in terms of number of consumers. They did the most amount of PPP loans for the smallest amount of money. So they were way more targeted, and they have just big data analytics to be able to distribute that money accurately. But politically, with the last PPP, the big thing was all this money went to big companies. Square is the company that's going to facilitate getting that money to smaller businesses in the future. So when there is a stimulus, I really like this company to be the one that does it. But for now, let's just trim a little bit. We're up $1,200 in this position. So we have $2,000 in cash. We were mostly fully invested. I still like Domino's longer term. Again, I'm just taking all the possible corona volatility out of this. I don't like waking up on a day-to-day basis and having tweets from the president, swing me thousands of dollars. I'm going to stay committed on things that are going to dominate either way. Domino's Pizza is another one that if people get stimulus, they spend more money on pizza. Pizza is generally recession proof. It's a great business. If that money was going to get jammed through and there was checks going out, that was going to be one we were going to pound the table on. But that's not going to be the case, so we're going to let that go and we'll revisit. I'll bulk this Adobe position up. Have Adobe Max coming up, which is always an event that I personally really enjoy. They go through all of the products that they sell and demonstrate what they're doing. And it's always kind of a wow factor. A lot of people don't really fully grasp what Adobe does and all the productivity suite that they bring to the table, but I mean, they just have an immensely valuable set of tools. And all right, here we go. So we have some buying power here, which, looking at markets for the day, looks like we're selling off. Let's just hold some of our cash. It's about 10% of our portfolio. We have $5,000 in cash, 40,000 in positions, roughly. We'll probably get this on later today with another session. Might hold it for tomorrow. Didn't do anything to the portfolio yesterday. Just a slight rotation here today. Nvidia continues to rocket and is going to go to all-time highs. I mean, just a monster company. And I feel pretty good about, I don't want AMD to be our biggest position, just out of principle. You're never going to go broke taking a profit. And this is the difference of when we have equity across the portfolio. Makes it a lot easier for us to either want to pivot to new positions. Okay, get out of here. Either pivot to new positions or double down on what we've already got. Sorry. Is there anything weak today that we want to pounce on? Not in particular. Enphase just in beast mode. We've missed this whole move. I called it, but I mean, look at that move off of 80 bucks was our line in the sand, and it's just been straight to 103. You can't chase it now, but I mean, shout out to anybody who's on that. What a banger of a stock. Just a hard bounce off the 50. We kind of have this formation in some other stocks of getting to all-time highs after this W grind against the 50. So this W recovery is what I think we're going to get in the QQQ. Kind of grinding across this. I think we're just back in time, relative to where Enphase is at. I think we're going to grind and eventually bounce, but we'll see. There's nothing here that I want to pound the table on or really get after. A lot of what's been good has been good, or is doing well today. Just another monster of a company, fastly getting to all-time highs. This is one I wouldn't want to get into now until it breaks that high, but it's been a monster of a stock. Sorry, there's no dings. This iPad is worthless. Whatever. All right, we'll hold the money for now, and let's just keep an eye on the market. If there's any dip, I'll hop back on and buy. If not, we'll probably ride this out, and we don't need to be fully invested with the introduction of new uncertainty in the market. Every one of our positions that we're holding now is positive, and we've got 2 double-digit % winners. Again, we started this portfolio on September 10th. We're coming in on 1 month, and we went from 41.7 to 44.6. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. I'll check in soon.